Okay, good evening, one and all. Welcome to our YouTube live tonight. Of course, I'm not feeling so 100 because the time is pretty cold where I am. But of course, we're going to start the ball rolling. Okay, good evening, good night to all our YouTube subscribers and also our visitors. All right, I'm quite a bit under the weather because, of course, it is very cold where I am right now. But of course, we must continue to keep our promises. Um, I hope you had visited the our website to or have visited our website, and of course, access the worksheet that you should have done. But before any further ado, let us get started immediately. Okay, so let's get ready to do the first question. Good night to everyone. Sharing is caring. So if you know anybody who's preparing for exams um, in January 2025 or beyond, I'm asking you to please share the link with a friend or a family. And of course, if you have not yet subscribed, please click on the subscribe button so that you can participate in today's presentation. All right. Now, just for those persons who are not aware as to where to find our weekly questions, past questions that we'll be going through throughout the week, then this is a website. This is where you go and get the questions. So of course you would type in www.cdplabs.eduservices.com, and then you will, for those who are using your mobile phone, you click on the menu button, which is the three um, horizontal lines, and then you scroll down to ebooks. When you scroll down to ebooks, And you're going to click on YouTube questions, past paper answers, and then you scroll down. So tonight we're going to go through our first, or all three questions we'll be doing tonight. Hope you had, in fact, done it. I am seeing, uh, this is Dennis Car. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing the name correctly, but good night. Um, it's a pleasure to see you here. Good night. I hope you had, did you get to access the worksheet? Did you access the worksheet? Let me know if you had access to the worksheet. All right. So we're going to go through the first question. So we're focusing now on algebra. Um, when we're through with algebra, then I think we'll be going on to either relations, functions, and graph, or measurements. All right. So we're following the syllabus as we go along. So let me know if you had accessed the worksheet. All right. Okay. Now, so it says passport questions to complete before the CDPLABS Eduservices live on Thursdays at this CDPLABS Edu. No, that's our YouTube channel. So I just showed you where to access the worksheets. So this is where I'm working from the website, so you can see exactly that this is where the questions go. So I hope you had access the worksheet. So we're gonna do the first question. It says factorize completely each of the following expressions. Now, one of the things that I want to say something before I proceed in this presentation. It is very important to practice. It says practice makes perfect. A lot of times why students fail these exams? They have not been practicing. That's number one. But one may ask, how am I going to practice something that I don't know? Well, the question is, what is it that you're practicing? You must practice to be able to interpret questions. One of the reasons I just had a one-on-one session with a student a while ago. He knows how to find the sales, the sales tax by using the percentage. And he knows how to find the percentage of a quantity. However, he did not interpret the question correctly. And so he got the whole thing wrong. So sometimes why persons don't do well on the exams, that they're not interpreting, they have not been practicing to interpret questions. So it's very important to practice to interpret questions. Okay? It makes no sense that you just do password questions, do password questions. It makes no sense that you just go to school, go to school. No, you have to know what you're practicing. So one, practice to interpret questions. What do you use to make that interpretation? You have to use your eyes. Look at what you're given. Look at what you're asked to do. So in this question, let's go straight to the question. It says to factorize completely each of the following expressions. So this is saying to us that both these are expressions. And of course, we can't refer to them as algebraic expressions. Now, factorize mean that you are given a product, and what you want to do now is to find the factors of the product. Okay? Now, this expression is what we would refer to the difference of two squares. Difference, subtract means to find the difference between two or more things. So once you see that minus sign there, difference. So the whole idea, as I said before, this is referred to as the difference of two squares. Now, how the term difference come in that phrase or description of the expression is because of the subtraction sign here. Obviously, why it says two, because there are two expressions. Squares now. Now you can identify the h as a square. You can identify 4 as a squared number. But most persons might not recognize that the number 1 itself is a squared number. Now, how do you know squared numbers, you may ask? Now, squared numbers, let me give you an example. If I have 3 times 3, 3 times 3, you would say it's 9. Now, the number 9 in this case is the squared number, meaning what two same numbers that can multiply to give you. So, real of a fact, when you're doing the square root, you'll find a square root most times of a squared number. Some numbers that are you find a square root of will not necessarily give you a whole number. Good? So, but it's the two same numbers that when multiplied together will give you 9. So let me ask the question. When you multiply 1 times 1, what do you get? You still get the number 1. Good. All right. I see where Car has given us her answer. All right. All right. So I've given us the answer there. So let's see if you are correct. And indeed, you are correct, of course. All right. So let's find the difference of 2 squares quickly. All right. Let's do that. Let us get rid of that. I said your answer is correct. That's good. Well done. So now what we do, for those who are not aware of what to do, you want to create a bracket. Always know that a square, you can have 1. I'm going to show you the pattern that you look at. You must have a minus in one bracket and an addition in another bracket. Now the square root of 4 is 2. The square root, you put 1 right here too. The square root, put another square number here. And then you put h here and h right here. So that would be your correct answer. Now if you did that, then your answer is correct. So well done to you, Car, for that one. Well, let us see now if the other one that you're coming up with is also correct. Let's see that. Ready? All right. So we want to see if that answer is also correct. All right. All right. Seems like you have done all of them. So you're moving very fast. I guess that you're moving very, very fast. All right. So the answer for the second one. No, how you get the answer for the second one? You have to group. You have to do your grouping. Now, when you're grouping, you must ensure that, because you could have grouped, you cannot group q square and 3p. Why? Because there is nothing common. So when you're grouping, you have to ensure that they have something common to each other. Good? Now, I could have grouped PQ and minus 3P because they have P common. I could have grouped Q square and 3Q because they have something common. So one of the rules of grouping is that you must ensure that they have something in common. Now, let's look at that. So of course, we have, so I'm going to now group, I'm going to group PQ and Q square. That's how we write it with the computer. So I'm grouping those two. So in other words, I'm grouping this one and this one. So therefore I'll be grouping the other set. These two as well, right? So you minus 3p plus 3q. Q. Good. Now, let's continue. Let's continue. All right. Now you can factorize now. Now, how do we factorize? You're going to divide the expressions in bracket by what is common to the two expressions in bracket. So you look to see what is common. What is common is Q. So you divide both expressions by Q. So this into this will go P times, and this into this will go 1Q. And you have the minus. So after doing that, it is always said that whatever you use to divide must go on the outside of the bracket, and the result stays inside the bracket. So that's P minus Q. Good. Then now, you want to do the same for the next set. Now, 3 is common, but it's negative 3 is common, not positive 3. You're going to see why. Because a negative 3 times a negative will give you a positive 3. Right there and then. No, I'm supposed to divide by negative 3, right? So this must be divided this by negative 3. Divide this also by negative 3. So of course, we come over here. And what you'll have is minus 3 on the outside, P on the inside, and minus Q. Now, if you notice, you have two of the same things. So you choose one. Well, it doesn't matter which one you write first. It doesn't really matter for persons who are concerned about that. And then you bracket the ones that are on the outside together. And that should be your answer. So I saw that Carr went ahead and got that correct answer. All right. So let us continue along the line. Continue along the line. All right. So Carr, you were correct. All right. So now we're going to move on from here. Now for the other one, it says solve each of the following equation. Now, the question is right here. Solve each of the following equations, right? Now, you must first, I can tell you a secret in this. You need to be able to the read the expression in English. Always tell my students, read the algebraic expressions in English if you want to really understand. So I would say, no, of course, the coefficient of y is 3/2. So you ask the question, say the question, 3/2 of what number will give me 12? You can reason it out. 3/2 is 1.5. So 1.5 of a number will give me what? You can troubleshoot as much as you want. Now, the question is then now, what number? No, you know that if you let's say that, all right, let me work it out. But there's ways of saving time without having to do all of that. So what I would do, if I want to find the value of y, I would say then now that I'm going to divide 12 by 3 halves. So therefore, y is equal to 12 times 2/3. And of course, you can say 3 into 12 goes 4 times. Or you multiply across. 12 times 2 is 24 and 3. Therefore, y is equal to 8. So of course, car is also correct for that one. All right. Now, a reminder to those persons who are just joining us that it's very important that you go to our website to access our worksheet on a weekly basis. All right. So you can work it out before. All right. Good. So y is equal to 8. Now, this one now, we need to do this one. All right. Now, it says to solve. But if you notice the quadratic expression here is given, is asking you to find the value of x when y is 0. It means then, what it means is this. There's a different ways I could do this. Quick thinking. If you know that automatically this portion must be equal to +3. So 3 from +3 would give you a 0. But we're not going to do it that way today. What we're going to do, though, is factorize first, all right? And then set both factors to equal to 0. And then we can find that specific answer. Now, in a quadratic expression, you will know that you'll always have two x values. Good? Now, if you were a student of CDPLABS Eduservices, then I would have shown you how you can use the graph to prove that. School. Yes, of course, you're a subscriber to the CDPLABS YouTube channel, which is good. We do enjoy your support, but we also want you to have a meaningful experience, especially those persons who are preparing for exams. All right? All right, so let's show how this is factorized. Now, so the first thing you're going to do, they always say that you could multiply the coefficient of the A term by the constant in the C term. So that would be 2 times, and we use asterisk, 3, and that will give us negative, well, it should be -3 rather, and that's going to give us -6. Now, after you do that, you need now to find out which two numbers that when multiplied will give us the coefficient in the B term. If I were you, if you missed that, I'd watch over the video and I'd pause it and write that bit of information down. So of course, 2 plus 3 can give me 5. So I already find the numbers. But we must have +5. We must get +5. But so therefore, 2 plus -3 will not give us +5. So we have to find another pair of numbers that when multiplied together will give us -6. Well, that will equal -1 times +6. That will still give us -6. Now, if we add -1 to +6, then we will definitely get +5. Good? So let's go down. So we find our two numbers now. So we'll write back our 2x squared, 2x squared minus x If you want to say 1x, you could do that. Plus 6x minus 3. So now we can factorize it better now. We can factorize it better now. Good. Now, let's get this done. Let's get this done. Now, so if you notice now, 2x squared minus x plus 6x minus 3. We can now factorize by grouping this and this, and this. So now we'll have x into both. So I have x right here, and we have 2x right here, minus 1. Then, what is common? Certainly, it is positive what? 3. So we have 2x again, minus 1. Again, we have two same expression. We're going to only choose one of them. So let us go to the top here. 2x minus 1. Group what's on the outside, x minus 3. So what we did was to factor, even says to solve, where you first have to factorize in order to solve. Good. So then now, let us now find our answer for this one. All right, so what we have here, we can set both expressions now equal to 0. So 2x minus 1 is equal to 0. What is x equal to? X is therefore equal to a half. So if you did not get that answer, then that is the answer you should have done. If you have any questions, you can ask it in the chat and I will respond. Now, so we find one value of x already. Let's find another value of x. So you can set now x minus 3 also equal to 0. And we know that x is, of course, 3. So both your answers then. The values of x, where this expression is equal to 0, is 3 and also a half. So if you got those answers, then you'll be correct. And of course, car also get that correct. Good. So let's move on to our next question now. Okay. So on our next question, we're going to move on to part C. Now, the quantities Fm, U and V, and T are related according to the formula. They are related. However, they're asking you to find the value of F when M is equal to 3, U is equal to -1, V is equal to 2, and T is equal to 1. Of course, this comes under the subject of, or the topic of substitution. So all you do is substitute in the values given into the expression, and that's easy to do. So wherever M is, we write 3. Wherever U is, we write, be careful, it should be -1, but because I have a negative U, you want to see why I said be careful. Wherever V is, I write 2. Wherever T is, I write 1. So let's do our substitution then. So where M is, we're going to write 3. V is, we're going to write 2. Now, remember, this is minus 1. So I can rewrite that as 3 outside still and 2 plus 1. Because a minus times a minus will give you what? A positive. Then T is 1. So, therefore, F is equal to 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. And 9 divided by 1 is 9. So that was easy to solve. So if anybody got 9, your answer is correct. I believe that Carr also got number 9. Good. Now it says now, in this case, now it says make V the subject of the formula. Well, car, this is stuck on that one. I was stuck on that one. So let's go. How do we make V the subject of the formula? Well, first, you can simple do the reverse. That's all it's about, doing the reverse. So start off with find the product of F and T. So let's do it up here. Remember, I'm doing this question here, up this side here. So F times T, good, is equal to M bracket V minus U. This is U. Well, let me write it properly. So this is U. Then we can, if we multiply here, we can divide both sides by M to get rid of the M. So therefore, it now become Ft divided by M, which is now equal to V minus U. So we can get V. We're going to add U on this side. So now we have made V the subject of the formula, which means the formula must be equal to V plus U. And this is the answer. So whichever way you want to write it, you can either write it as V is equal to F times T divided by M plus U. And this is T. So that should be your answer. Okay? So we're going to move on to the rest of the question. So we have completed question number 1, and this means that you have to practice. Now, I normally tell my students what practice is. If you're doing using the textbook is very good to use to practice. The textbook itself is a very good tool to practice for CXC maths. I always like Raymond Tulsi books, volume 1 and 2. I will always refer to those books simply because it gives you a lot of practice exercises. And when you're practicing from that book, if you're doing an exercise and it has a million questions, if you short one question, you have not yet practiced. So for me, when you complete the exercise, you have done your practice. It's like training. If you're training for the Olympics, the very day that you absent for one training session can affect you in the competition. You have to complete your training to perform at the best. It's the same thing in mathematics. Treat mathematics like, that's why it's called exercise. And when you exercise, it helps you to grow and become better. So practice helps you to grow and become better. All right, let's move on. I don't know if car, do you have the answer for this one, car? Guess not. All right, let's move on. So it says write as a single fraction in its lowest terms. Write as a single fraction in its lowest terms. Now, just before we go into question number 2, because we're doing 3 questions tonight, we're going to finish all 3 questions. Just want to tell you 2 things before we move on. One, CDPLABS Eduservices, it is our desire to ensure that our live sessions are meaningful and interactive. We're not about just showing. We invite you, our subscribers, and other viewers to go to our website on a weekly basis. As you can see, I'm working from the website to access the worksheets so that you can go through the worksheets Because sometimes students are practicing on their own and they don't have anybody to help them to determine if what they did was wrong or right. So this is a good experience for you that you go access the worksheet first, go through it before Thursday nights, come and come to the channel on Thursday nights, and of course, you can see if your answers were right or wrong. So that's number one. Second thing I want to tell you, I'm not teaching no, I'm just presenting the solutions and the answers. If you want to get a deeper understanding, there are other persons who fail who don't grasp things in mathematics that easily simply because they don't have the teacher that will identify their learning style and the area of weakness. Here at CDPLABS Eduservices, we do that. My students can tell you that I do that. And I give God all the glory for that, though, that He has given me the talent to determine my students' strengths and my students' weaknesses. So I can direct my students how to do better, and they have been doing better. So some of our students are mainly visual students. Most of you out there are visual students. Most of you are tactile learners. So therefore, at CDPLABS Eduservices, we ensure that our activities cater for your learning style. So if you want to, if you want to register with CDPLABS Eduservices to deepen your understanding, then I will send you the application link. And there is an application link under our description. So you can go to the description and get the application link, right? When you get the application link, then of course you can indeed register. All right. So let us proceed further. Well, I see you give an answer car. That looks like 11x minus 5/12. Are you sure that is correct? Let's see. I highly doubt that though, but let's see if that's correct. So there's no, so there's a right as a single fraction is lowest terms. Lowest terms, right? So let's check it out. Now, you have you'd have learned in some of your maths classes that you can find the lowest common multiple by multiplying the denominators of both expressions. So of course, our lowest common multiple will be 12. How we got that? 3 times 4. Now, you can multiply. I was teaching a student, and he discovered on his own that you can multiply, when you add in fractions, you can multiply the denominators like a butterfly, using the butterfly style. I never teach him the butterfly style. I allowed him to discover the butterfly style on his own. That's exactly what I did. But let's see if your answer is correct, Gar. I doubt it, but let's check it. So we're going to multiply this, use this 4 to multiply against this expression up here. I'd rather to put the 4 on the outside first, then x minus 2 in bracket. Do the same with this one, put our addition sign, of course, and then 3 on the outside times x plus 1. Now, when you practice this, it's like a language. When you practice Spanish, practice speaking Spanish, you become more fluent and better at it. When you practice algebra from your textbook, you will be able to recognize certain things easily and be able to master it. So my recommendation is to practice using the exercises and and textbook. Now CDPLABS Eduservices does offer our students ebooks. It's not sold to them. Once they are registered, they receive access to our ebooks. Now, so we can simplify now what's at the top. So 4 times x will give us 4x. 4 times minus 2 will give us negative 8. Then we get 3x right here. And we get positive 3. So let's simplify that now. Note everything here is still over 12. So we group the like terms. 4x plus 3x is not 11x, madam. So, car, that is not correct. It's 4x plus 3x that will give us 7x. So that will now give us 7x So remember you group the like terms. So negative 8 plus 3 will give us what? Negative 5 all over 12. So this is the answer, not 11x minus 5/12. No, it's 7x minus 5/12. So that one, car, you got that one incorrect. All right. Let us now erase that. So car, you got the right answer now. 7x minus 5 all over 12. Let's move to part B quickly. Now, part B says, and if you notice, 1 mark each. And if you notice, for those persons who would have had the Raymond Tulsi textbook, volume 1, they recognize that in algebra, one of the first exercise requires you to practice to write expressions into algebraic terms. So you see what I'm saying? When you practice from the textbook, you will certainly give yourself a chance at passing the CXC exam. Very important. Raymond Tulsi book. Wherever you're in the world, Mr. Tulsi, if you're still alive, God forbid, I am recommending your textbook to others. Okay? No, until I write my own. All right, so it says write an equation in X. What does that mean? It means that your equation must have the letter X in it. And this equation is to represent what? Each statement below. So the equation must represent the statement below. Do not solve the equation. They are not asking you to solve it. Okay? So don't waste time trying to solve it. Now they say when 4, you write down the 4, is added, so plus sign, to a certain number, it means you don't know this number. So if you don't know this number, it's an unknown. So let me write that differently first. So it's 4 plus a certain number x. Good. So we have that. Note, it said the result. The result. Now this term result is the same. And we know is the same means what? Equal. Because what? The equal sign means same as. Yeah, the equal sign means same as. Good. So for those who didn't know, you have learned that today. So it's the same as what? So it's the same as having, and having means to what? Make half off. Having the number. What number? You are referring to the number x. Then you add 10. So therefore, that would be then, that number will be multiplied by a half plus 10. So that is the statement. So 4 is added to the unknown number. The result is the same as half in the same number plus 10. That should be your answer. So we see that car, and note you don't have to use X, you could use a different letter. So car is correct. Car says that 4 plus n, that part is correct. But it should not be divided, it should be equal. So that part would make your answer incorrect, car. That part will make your answer incorrect. So please note that the result is the same as. So it's saying that it is equal to half the same number plus 10. So what you did right there was not correct. Okay? Do you understand now, car? Whereas a car is the only person who's participating. Now we do have promotion going on that persons who do come to our YouTube channel, if they do want to be a part of our school as a student in preparing for their exam, they um, can they will get a discount. They will get a discount on the cost of their program. So once you come to the YouTube channel, you participate, and you want the deepening understanding, so you register to the school, then of course you can get a discount. All right. Now, and last week a student by the name of Elaine, she came to our live session on Zoom, our first class. And if she, I'm not sure if she's on now watching. If she's on, she could testify. Elaine, are you there? I'm not sure if Elaine is there. She was there last week. She went straight ahead and applied because guess what? Elaine was a part of our school, part of our one of what we had our HSB YouTube live. She came on that. She registered for a marathon and she got a grade 2 for HSB. Wasn't that great? She and her friend. So when you come to the school itself, you're guaranteed to do well. And that is by God's grace. All right. So the next one says squaring a number, squaring a number, and subtracting 6. Now it says squaring a number. So a number here is a certain number that we don't know it. What number? A number, a number, a number. We don't know the number. So when a square, when you use a letter to represent that number. Let me borrow what Carr said. Let's use n. So we can have n squared, so we must square it, and subtract 6 from it. It's a subtracting 6, so subtract 6. Gives the same result as all of this phrase here means equal. Doubling, if you want to double something, if I have 4 and I double it, what would I get? 8, right? I would get 8. Now, if I double 5, what will I get? 10. So that's the same thing as saying 2 times the number. That's what we double it by multiply by 2. So therefore, 2 times the same number, which is n, and then we add 9 to it. Now that now is our answer. Okay? Now let me ask Car. Car, did you access the worksheet at the website before coming to the live? Let me know in the chat if you did that. So this now is the correct answer. All right. Good. Let's move on. Remember asking you guys to share the link with a friend or a family who you know is doing the exam. Encourage a person to come and join because we sure know that students who normally come to a YouTube live and participate, they normally do well and pass their exam. All right. Now let's move to part C quickly. It says use the information from the diagram to write a formula for y in terms of x. To write a formula for y in terms of x. Well, how is that done? Let's see how that is done. So it says use the information from the diagram to write a formula in terms, for y in terms of x. So for y means that it says output would mean that y is equal to something. Input is a value right here, so it's 3 times x. plus 5. So that is the answer. Simple as that. That's the answer for that. Good. So that's the answer for that one. Okay. 3x plus 5. Let's move on to part 2 quickly. Now, part 2 says, if the number 4 is the input, it's an if, that's a condition. So if number 4 is the input, where is the input? Right here. So it means that you're going to change x to be 4. What number would be the output? So you're trying to solve for y. So you're using the function. So this is a function. Right here is a function. This is a function. And for those persons who are doing relation functions and graph, you can write your functions like this so you can better understand what is really happening there. All right, Car. I hope that the next time you come to the live, you will have done the worksheet before you come to live. Now, is the first time you're coming to the website? So is it the first time you're coming to our channel, Car? And if you don't mind, tell me which country are you from? All right, so let's go. If the number 4 is the input, so wherever 4 is, wherever x is, I'm going to put 4. So 3 then, and 3x means 3 times value of x. The value of x in this case is 4. Then we add 5. Then our output is going to be, so we multiply 3 by 4, we get 12. We add 5. That's the function. Good. So 3 fours is 12 plus 5 will give us what? 3. 3 times 4 is what? Okay, you have those questions somewhat. Okay, Car, got you. All right. Now, well, the idea is for you to do them before, you know. You may have them, but do them before. All right. So 3 fours is 12 plus 5 will give us 17. So if we got 17, then the answer will be correct. All right. Now, let's look at part 3. If the number 8 was the output, so wherever y is, we're going to write 8. Then what is the input? So we'll still have to find what? X. So we use the same formula, 3x plus 5. That is saying to us that 3x is equal to what? 8 minus 5 is equal to 3x. Now, 5 from 8 is 3. Let's do it up here. Let's continue up the top here. 5 from 8 is 3. So 3 times what number will give me 3? Obviously, x then is equal to 1. Good? All right. Oh, you have watched my videos before. Okay, Car. Which country are you from? All right. Good. So now we're going to go to part 4. Now, there's a reverse the formula written at CI above to write x in terms of y. So in this case, you're asking you to find the making, I guess, x the subject of the formula this time. So you realize, oh, CSEC can, in an earlier question, we did making it whatever subject of the formula. This way, it was more simpler this time around, right? So let's say reverse the form. So we want to know, instead of y being the output, y is now going to be the input. So it's a reverse the formula. Now, if you reverse the formula, you therefore find the difference between what? Y and 5, and then you divide it by 3. Exactly. Reverse the formula. So y then minus 5, all of it is going to be divided by 3. And then that is equal to x. Those are the answer. All right? Good. All right, so Car is one of our subscribers. So, Car, have you done CXE Maths as yet? Have you done CXE Maths as yet, Car? All right, so we got that. Let's move on to our next question. Now, this says solve the following simultaneous equation. So, we have one more question to do, and then we can move on. Okay, so Car is saying that all the Maths CXE topic involves algebra. That is true. All of them involves algebra. In consumer arithmetic, it has algebra. In sets, you have algebra. In statistics, you have algebra. In measurements, you have algebra. That's correct. So algebra is basically the foundation, one of the foundations of mathematics. It's arithmetic and foundation. Arithmetic and algebra, I should say, is the foundation of mathematics. That's what Carl is trying to say right here. All right? Now, so let's solve the simultaneous equation. I'm going to use what we call the elimination method. You can use the graph method as well to solve it. Now, if you were a member of the school, you'd have seen how we use the graph method to solve simultaneous equation. All right. Now, and how we teach is we don't directly tell our students what to do. We let our students explore because it does take time to learn, and learning takes time. But when our students explore, they are developing the necessary skills to perform in the exams and beyond the exams itself. So prepare our students for life. All right? Let's proceed further. So then you solve this using the elimination method, right? So we can rewrite it. 2x plus 3y is equal to 9. Then 3x, now before going further, I want you to observe the elimination method simply means you are making either the x coefficients the same or the y coefficients the same. Now it's easier for me to make the y coefficient the same. How? It is 3y, so this must be 3y. But how do we get 3y? We have to multiply everything here by 3. So therefore it becomes 9x minus 3y is equal to 24. Good? Now you might ask now, how we'll get rid of the y? Well, of course, simple. We're going to add. So 2x plus 9x gives us 11x. Good? Oh, years ago. Okay. And I gather that you passed the subject already, right? So you're just having fun. Okay. All right. So when you add these two, you get because a plus 3 minus 3 is even 0. So you got rid of the y. So therefore now 9 plus 24 is going to be equal to 33. Now this is easy. What number when multiplied by 11 will give me 3. 33. So that is obviously 3. So x is 3. And for those who are not sure, you just divide both sides by 11 and x will give you 3. Now when you find the value of 1, you're going to plug it into one of the two expressions. Doesn't matter which one. Now, we'll plug it into this one, second expression. Some person can plug it in the first, doesn't really matter. So let's go. I'm going to use the second expression, or second equation rather, equation number 2. So wherever x is in equation number 2, I'm going to put the 3. Minus y is equal to 8. So of course, we have 9 minus y is equal to 8. So what number when minus? When you subtract from 9 get 8? Must be 1. So y is equal to 1. So our solution then is 3 comma 1. That's how you write your answer. Solution. But that is where both points or both lines would intersect. Okay? All right. So let us now get rid of this. All right. So now we're going to go to our final question of our night. Final question. So it'd be good to give you 3 questions per night. What do you think about it? Good idea? All right. 3 questions per night. So once again, before we go through the third question, I just want to say good night to those who are just stopping by. Um, I'm just where if you have not yet subscribed, I ask you please to subscribe. If those who have been on and you like what's going on here, you can click on the like button. And of course, share the link with a friend or family who's doing the exams. No, the question is, we are saying that we want our students to access the worksheet before the classes. Go through the questions that we will be doing. Why? When you attempt it first, then of course, when you come to the live, you'll get your feedback. So we don't want you to just come and just learn it now. I don't think it's much fun. You want to see it can be fun, yes, when you put your answers in, but we want you to have an experience where you actually try it first, you return to the live on Thursday nights, and then you'll be able to get your feedback. All right. So I see where Car is saying you have, okay, which question are you doing? Well, we're now at number 2A. We're supposed to factorize 2x cubed minus 8x. That's where we're at now. Factorizing 2x cubed minus 8x. That's where we're at now. All right, let's go. All right, so how is this done? Again, you look to see what is common. And one of the secrets to see what is common, I'm going to show you. 2x, no, x cubed mean, x cubed mean all of this, right? X cubed mean all of this. Well, let me write it a different way. All right, I'll write it a different way. So I'm going to expand expression so you can see what it really means. So 2 times x again times x again. Because x times x times x is x cubed minus 8, but we can factor out 8, you know. We can factor out 8. Let's factor out 8. 2 times 2 times 2. So I factor out 8. Good. And times x again. Now, so guess what is common? 2x is common. 2x is common. 2x is common. All right, because you can get 2x here and you can get 2x here. So 2x is common. So if 2x is common, 2 is common and x is common. So therefore that is, sorry. Therefore that become, so we'll use 2x then to simplify that. So if you can get 2x here, and you're left with x squared, you can get 2x here, and you're left with -4. So therefore, when we factorize this, first, let's go over this side, you're going to get 2x outside x squared minus 4. Now, what are we left with here? Well, it's not yet completed. It says completely. So it's not yet completed. All right, I see where car. Let me tell you, your answer is correct on that one, car. Certainly. Now, we are left again with the difference of two squares, and I showed you earlier how to factorize that. So let's get straight into it. So therefore, answer for that would be then, in bracket, you have x minus 2, or it could be x plus 2. It doesn't matter which one you write first, or x plus 2. So this is your answer. 2x, x minus 2 in bracket, x plus 2 in bracket. That's the answer for that one. Okay? So if you did this in your notebooks, for those persons who actually access the worksheet before coming to the live, then you could write your answer right here if you got them wrong. All right, so let us now do our next one. So let's factorize this one. So let's factorize it quickly. Again, using the same method. 2 times 3 is -6. 2 times 3 is -6. In this case, again, we have -5. But this time, when we expand the middle term, we're going to have 3x squared plus x this time. Well, yeah, plus x minus 6x is going to be -2. Good. So we can factorize this by grouping this and grouping this and grouping that. I'm going to write my answer over here. Well, let's try. So what we'll have now is x on the outside here, 3x on the inside here, plus 1. And then we see that this should be -2 is common to both. So we have positive 3x and we have negative, well, we have positive 1 rather. And then what is in bracket to group them? So our final answer, I may put it right here, is x minus 2, group what's on the outside, and choose one of them, is 3x plus 1. That is the answer for that one. So yes, well, I didn't see Kara come up with that one as yet. All right, good. So, of course, that is good. That's the answer for that. There we go. So now we're going to move on to our other question. The B part two. Now it says we must make C the subject of the formula. So basically what you're doing is reversing the formula. You learned that in the first question that you basically going to reverse the formula. So of course, in reversing the formula, you added 32. So we're going to subtract 32 this time. You multiplied C by that, we're going to divide. But if we're going to divide all of this by 5/9, by 9/5 rather, you're going to recognize that you're going to, treat like a fraction. So it'll be F is going to be, 5, 5 times what's in the bracket, divided by 9. So this is what C now will be equal to. Just reverse the function. That's all you're asking to do. Reverse the function. All right. Now, let's do part two. Given that F is equal to 113, calculate the value of C. Okay. So we're gonna F is gonna what? Make it 113. Let's go. 5, 113 right here, minus 32, all divided by 9. So you take a calculator and you subtract 32 from 113. So let's work that out. Minus 32. And our answer is 81. You're going to multiply 5 times 81 now. It's 405 divided by 9. So C is 45. That's it. So C is equal to 45. So C is equal to 45. Good. That's what C is equal to. 45. All right. Good. Note, I see that you're doing something in your car. You're not to solve, but to factorize. So it seems as if you went ahead and factorized instead. All right. So now we're going to move on to our final set of questions, which is C. Let's get into this question quickly. All right. So we're wrapping up. It says 500 tickets were sold for a concert. So you count out 500 tickets one by one. At the end of counting, you got 500. That's clear? Now, of these X tickets, what are they referring to? The 500 tickets. X tickets were sold at $6 each. And the remainder, or what is left, at $10 each. So write the expression in terms of X for the number of tickets sold at $10 each. Now, the remainder of tickets were sold at $10 each. Now, how do we find the remainder? Simple. Subtract the number of tickets that are sold for $6 from total number of tickets sold. So this would be the answer for part A. Part B now, the total amount of money collected for the sale of 500 tickets. All right. Now, total means we're going to add. So naturally, we know that 6 times the certain number, we add it to, what is it, $6? What is it? What is this? $6 right here. Plus $10 times the remainder minus X. If you want to leave that, is fine. Or simplify it. Now, if you simplify it, you will end up with something like this. Now, note that this is minus X. So we get negative X. So let's do it over here. So you're going to get 6X minus 4X plus 5,000. That's 10 times 500 will give you 5,000. Now, if you take 4X from 6X, no, 10X rather. This is supposed to be 10X, not 4X, 10X. My bad. It should be 10X. If you take 10X from 6X, you're going to get negative 4X. But somebody said negative 4X? How is that possible? We're going to see why. No. What number when multiplied by negative 4 give you? Well, a negative 4X is going to equal to 5, negative 5,000. So basically, it's a negative 4X. Well, let me not solve it. They didn't ask us to solve it. They were asked us to write the expression. So the answer then is negative X plus 5,000. That's the answer for that. So now we're going to now do the rest. We'll do the rest. And of course, so let's do the rest of it. All right. So of course, it said the sum of money is $4,108 was collected for the sale of 500 tickets. Calculate the number of tickets sold at $6 each. Let's figure it out. So we're using the same formula, but we're going to substitute. Let's do it up here. So the formula is 4x, negative 4x, plus 5,000. So that number must be set to what? What they gave us, 4,108. Good? Remember now, we try to find the number of tickets sold at $X each. It was told us that of these, X tickets were sold at $6. So this X will give us, when we find out of this X, then that would have answered the question, right? So we're going to subtract. So we're going to say now, negative 4X is equal to 4,108 minus 5,000. Now, when you do this, you're going to get a negative answer. Agree? Negative 892. So therefore, X therefore is equal to now negative 892. So you know, no, you arrive at a positive answer now. Divided by negative 4. And therefore, answer then would now be equal to positive 233 tickets were sold for $6 each. So those are the answers to the questions. Now again, if it is that you have, I don't know how many persons did well on this worksheet. I saw that 5 persons said yes, they had access to the worksheet before. I hope you had done it before. And let's see how many of you did well on that one. I can see that Car, even though she didn't access it before, she worked through these quickly. It was very good. Now, Car, you didn't tell which country you're from, you know? Would it be Jamaica? Where in the world are you from? All right, so just to remind our viewers that our worksheets will change on a weekly basis. So you want to know our next 3 questions. We are finished with algebra right now. So we're going to move on to another set of questions. We won't tell you. When you go to the website, you'll find that out. All right. Now, so where is our website? CDPLABS Eduservices.com. So what we did, we provide the worksheet to students or to viewers or subscribers. While you go to our website, it might ask you to sign up. You can sign up for free to the website, that is, become a member of the website. And then you'll have access to the ebook. Click on ebooks, scroll on to YouTube questions and past paper questions. You get those questions. You do them before you come to the live. When you come to the live now, you will see the solutions and the answers. Now, of course, just in case you would like to register with the school, get a deeper understanding of how to do certain things, then you can go to our website. Then, well, there are different schools that we work along with. So we're a part of the Jamaica Online School Association, a new team of online schools. And we specialize in various areas. So CDPLABS Eduservices, we specialize in the maths and the sciences. Maths, we mainly teach adults for maths classes. Business tutoring services and Asana School of Business will do business subjects. Saturday Maths will do PEP. So those persons who have kids who are in the primary school and they're doing PEP exams, they can sign up with Saturday Mathematics Tutoring Services. And I think she does up to grade 7 or 11. Um, so the business students, you can go to Business Tutoring Services and Asana School of Business. Now, the teacher who's responsible for our Asana School of Business, if you do an EDPM with her, I can guarantee you that you will pass your exams. Why? From she started teaching for 5 years, she has been getting 5 years on a record, more than 80% pass in EDPM. Type of students she was teaching are slower learners. She got these slow learners to do very well. They attended the high school at a level where they couldn't read. Of course, thanks be to God, their reading has improved. And of course, they were successful. Now, for persons who cannot read well, AB tutoring services also offer reading classes. So online, of course, online. And so the person who can't read well, they can register with the institution. You're from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Oh, well, welcome back to CDPLABS Live. Now, how was this exercise for you, Car? How was it? Was it a good presentation? Did you like the presentation? Now, for those persons who want to register with CDPLABS Eduservices, you come to our website, you click on CDPLABS Eduservices right there, and then you scroll down. Well, let's look for it. Okay. Scroll down, so you're welcome, and you click on start now, and then you'll be able to access our application form right there, and you can register. Now, to save you the trouble, we'll just send you the application link in the YouTube chat so that you can apply right away in our YouTube chat. Let's see. Let's get to our YouTube chat quickly so we can send you that link right away. So that's the registration link. The persons who want to, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's the application link for those students who are interested to register with CDPLABS Eduservices. Then there you are. Right. Now, I want to say thanks again to Car for participating so effectively in our presentation today. And of course, thank you for all the way from St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You have supported us, and I'm really glad that you have supported us. Um, Next week, we'll be looking at a different unit in the syllabus. And as I said before, what CDPLABS does, they teach 2 units at the same time. Now, our assignments are based on 1 unit, and our live sessions are based on another unit. But what we do is that when you come to the live sessions, you get a quiz based on the assignments you did. So you're still being assessed to see how well you have done in the assignments. And you're being taught a different unit during the live session, and you're also assessed along the way. Now, we don't only, in our teaching, we provide you scenarios. We give our students hands-on activities, give them projects, because we're about building their critical thinking skills and, of course, building their reasoning ability. Because a lot of students who fail mathematics is simply because they are not reasoning that well. Okay, so I guess that's a wrap. The link is in the chat. So if you want to register with the school, once you register with the school, then of course you will get a discount and take it from there. All right. So I'm going to wish you all a good night. See you next week, same place, same time. Remember to go to our YouTube channel to get our access to our weekly worksheets that we'll be going through, and so that when you come to the live sessions, you can in fact participate meaningfully. Because that's exactly what we want to do. We want you to participate. We don't just want you to come to the live and just no, we want to exercise to be meaningful to you. We want to be productive. All right. So if you like this session today, I just want to give it a thumbs up, thumbs up. If you don't, the same, thumbs down. Now, as again, if you want to register with the school, then of course you can click on the link that is in the chat and you can apply to the school. So we are just about ready to sign out. All right. Just about ready to sign out. Okay. If you have any questions, if there's any questions you can ask us. Okay. Have a wonderful night. See you next week. Same place, same time.